And once again, a 1-2 count here. We apologize, a little difficulty here with some of the technology and a little bit of a glitch, but we're back to live action. Bases loaded, and a chopper at the plate for the six-hitter Scheffler, as Carbaugh struggling a little bit just to settle in here early on in the top of the first frame. 1-0 affair for Alpha Prime, and the count holds here at 1-2. One out, top of the first. And a ball low, the count goes to 2-2. And swing and a miss outside. Scheffler chases it out, and Carbaugh will get the K. The seven-hitter Harris will step in. Righty-lefty matchup here, and the prospects looking to get out of the inning here unscathed with the bases loaded. And 2 outs for Carbaugh. And a ball out, the count is 1-0. And Carbaugh comes back in, evens things up. The count goes to 1-1. And a ball down, 2-1 count to Harris, playing as a DH here this morning. And a strike. Carbaugh comes inside, and Harris takes a look. The count goes to 2-2. So Carbaugh locked in at a 2-2 count here. Ball's cut foul as Andrade comes out of the pop. No play there. And here we hold at a 2-2 count with Harris. And Carbaugh and the prospects looking for an out here. Bases loaded, top of the first frame, 1-0. Walked in a run on a hit by pitch as Carbaugh just settling in here this morning. And a ball out, the count goes full to 3-2. And Carbaugh, strike 3, runs it in the inner third, and Harris gets caught looking. Thought he was on board with a free ride, and they'll strand 3, but they'll pick up 1 on a hit by pitch as the prospects will get on the offensive side. The 2025 Perfect Game Ultimate Baseball Championships here at Irvine, California. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, bringing you back into live action here as Alpha Prime will get on the defensive side. Graham Schlick, the right-hander, will start things off on the hill for Alpha Prime. Moss behind the plate. In the 2 spot, over in the 3 spot, Maxon. In the 4 spot, Ebel. Over in the 5 spot, the third base, Grease. Horn will be at shortstop for the club. And over on the left side, Finnegan. And Tronstein in center field. And rounding things out on the right side, Hearn. That's the defensive set for the Alpha Prime Club. And starting things off will be Justin Lopez. Lopez will step in, the leadoff hitter for the club. Shortstop. And Lopez ready to go. So Lopez steps in, facing Schlick for the first time here. Bottom of the first frame, 1-0 Alpha Prime. And a ball low, the count is 1-0. Peel down on the first base side from Moss. Did not go. The count is 2-0. Prospects yesterday, early on, had some good production out of their offense as Schlick looks at a strike there and gets the outer third of the plate. The count goes to 2-1. And back to back. And the count evens up at 2-2. Schlick running the outer part of the plate. Lopez takes a look with a 2-2 count. And a ball gets away there. The count goes full at 3-2. Day number 3 of the 2025 Perfect Game Ultimate Baseball Championships. 16 teams entered the tournament as Lopez takes a swing. Schlick gets him on the outer half, and Lopez will have a seat on the strikeout. William Myhan will step in. Myhan had a good day yesterday. And looking to get things started here for his side. Myhan, another 2026 kid, committed to North Carolina. As Schlick deals a ball that counts 1-0. 2-0 count to Myhan. First baseman. And Myhan takes a cut, fouls it off to the right side. And the count goes to 2-1. And Myhan continues to foul off. And the count is 2-2 here with 1 out. Myhan, 1 hopper, should be a routine play there. 4-3 put out and 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Josiah Andrade, the catcher for the Prospects, will step in. Schlick opens up with a strike. The count is 0-1. And ball out, appeal down there. Said yes, he did go at the plate. And the count is 0-2. Andrade resetting as he'll step back in. Schlick with an 0-2 count here and 2 outs. Pitch on the way. And swing and a miss, strike three. Schlick efficient. They go 1-2-3 as he puts down the side. We'll head to the second. Stay with us. We'll be right back. The 2025 Perfect Game 17U division of the UBC here at the Great Park in Irvine, California. It's been a great tournament so far, and teams have had the opportunity to play at Concordia University, as well as over at the Vanguard University in Costa Mesa. 2 nice fields, giving opportunity for players to play in a stadium, as well as here at the Great Park. Alpha Prime, they'll get on the offensive side. We'll be right back. Well, bringing you back in here, we're ready to go here in the top of the second, 1-0. Alpha Prime were able to bring one over with the bases loaded and hit by pitch as Jake Carbaugh just trying to settle in here. We're in the second. And stepping in Maxon, they'll go 8, 9, 10 here in the top of the second frame. Heath puts it in play. We're ready to go. And a ball up. The count is 1-0. A 2-0 count. And Carbaugh just trying to settle into his stuff here and struggling a little bit this morning to get it going. Four-pitch walk, so uncanny for Jake Carbaugh. And issuing a walk here in the top of the second. Ebel will step in, hitting in the 9 spot. And a ball up, and the count is 1-0. And Carbaugh misses in, the count's 2-0. So Ebel steps back in with Maxon over at first. Throw back over to my hand. And Maxon back in plenty of time. Carbaugh from the stretch. Ball's popped up. Andrade behind the plate makes the adjustment. He'll pull it in. So Andrade comes out quickly, and Ebel will pop up behind the plate and one out here. Finnegan will step in, hitting in the 10 spot. Left fielder for Alpha Prime. Maxon parked at first, modest lead. Pitch on the way, runner on the attempted move. Looked like he was on the go and shut it down and came back. And the count 1-0 to Finnegan. He'll step out and reset here. Maxon, as I mentioned, with a modest lead. And a strike there, so Carbaugh. Settles in here with a 1-1 count as Andrade sets up. Big cut at the plate for Finnegan, and Carbaugh with the ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 outside. Carbaugh locating, making some good adjustments there, and bringing some good stuff there for his side, and will get the K. Back to the top of the order. Tronstein will step in with 2 outs. Throw back over, and infield umpire says back in time. So Maxon showing a little bit like he might be on the move here as Tronstein steps in. And Andrade takes one off the mask. He's okay. Coach Martinez, Rick over on the prospect side. Andrade's good. And the count is 0-1. Well, Tronstein will step back in. Carbaugh 0-1 count. And fastball up, and the count goes to 1-1. So Carbaugh runs it up and in on Tronstein, and the count is 2-1. Maxon stays parked at first. Myhen will hold him on. Prospects with 2 outs in the top of the second frame, 1-0. And Tronstein takes a cut, fouls it off, and Carbaugh will even it up at 2-2. And Carbaugh running it out, takes Tronstein to a full count.
Let's go, Jake.
The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3 there, so a changeup looked like. And Carbaugh gets out of it. They'll leave one on. Low scoring affair so far. The prospects will get on the offensive side. We'll head to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Alpha Prime. Stay with us, the 17U 2025 Perfect Game UBC Championship Tournament here at the Great Park in Irvine. We'll be right back. We're ready to go here as Hudson Reed will step in, and the prospects looking to get their bats going. And we're ready to go here. And the count is 1-0. And swung on foul, so Reed takes a cut. And the count is 1-1. A 1-1 count. And a ball out for Slick, and the count is 2-1. So Reed locks back in. The 2-1 count on him. Slick ready to deal. Pitch on the way. Ball is low and out. The count goes to 3-1. So Reed staying patient at the plate. And a well-hit ball. Center fielder backing up. That ball's got some carry to it. And that ball is gone. Hudson Reed pulls the trigger. Left center. And deep, deep swing there for Hudson Reed. So a solo shot to put the prospects on the board. So Hudson Reed goes deep and a solo home run. It's a 1-1 tie. Hudson Reed out of Madison, Georgia. 2026 kid, uncommitted, third baseman. And Luke Manderson will step in. So a 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the second on Hudson Reed's shot there. And Luke Manderson, as I mentioned, steps in. Luke from Jacksonville, Florida, committed to Iowa. Plays some outfield, does a little bit of pitching. Primary position in the outfield. And the count is 0-1. Ball low, 1-1 count. And Slick answers back, makes the adjustment. Runs it in and gets the strike called. The count is 1-2. And Manderson, the outside part of the plate, takes a cut, and Slick gets the K. Manderson will have a seat, and Ty Daniels will step in. Ty Daniels, another 26 kid, middle infielder. Lives in San Diego, just south here, about an hour or so. And a strike outside. So Schlick opens up with a strike. The count is 0-1. Well hit ball, backhand grab, and a good throw over on the second base side. So Ebel makes a good defensive play there as he fell off to his right, and the out recorded. So 2 down, and Matthew Ramirez will step in. Ramirez, primary position in the outfield, secondary is a left-handed pitcher. 2026 kid out of Paris, California. Schlick ready to deal. Pitch on the way, low. The count is 1-0. And a ball down, 2-0, says Heath, our head umpire. This guy's doing some good work throughout the last few days, keeping things managed and under control. The 2-0 pitch. Chop foul. Temperatures definitely escalating here today in Southern California. Getting into some high digits in the Inland Empire, and Schlick runs that outside, and the count is 3-1. Beaches and coastal communities up into the 80s, 90s, and triple digits as you get into the deserts in the Inland Empire. Summer is here. And a strike upstairs on the inner third, and Ramirez thought he was on board, and the count goes full at 3-2. And swing and a miss outside. And Ramirez will have a seat and a strikeout. They'll turn aside. But not before Hudson Reed. He pulls the trigger. Well hit there and goes deep for a solo home run. And it's an even score here at 1-all. Alpha Prime and the ZT Prospect 17U national team here. We're ready to go in the top of the third frame. We'll be right back. I'll bring you back in. Andrade sends it down to second. We'll be ready to go here in just a moment to start the top of the third frame. We're through two. It's a 1-1 tie. Hudson Reed answered back on his at-bat at the bottom of the second. Alpha Prime was able to score their first series at bat. They stranded 3, but brought across 1 on a hit by pitch. And Alpha will go 2-3-4 here. Horn will step in. Shortstop for the club facing Carbaugh here. And the count is 1-0.
All right, let's go get him.
And a strike at the plate. Low part of the zone. The count goes to 1-1. And a ball chopped foul over on the Prime dugout. Moss on deck tried to grab it as it jumped right to his hand. And the count is 1-2. And a ball low. Andrade framing it there, and the count goes to 2-2. So Carbaugh just missing. Back up the middle. Good deflection from Carbaugh as Lopez. Carbaugh made a glove got hit there by the ball, and it caromed right into Lopez, and Lopez was not able to kind of get it back and make a play. So down the line, Horn gets on board. Moss will step in the 3 spot.
Hey, let's go drive here.
Throw back over. Myhan slaps on the tag. Horn gets back in time. And a ball out. The count is 1-0. Carbaugh answers on the outside part of the plate, and the count goes even to 1-1. And a strikeout. Carbaugh gets the outside part of the plate, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. So Moss steps back in with a 1-2 count on him. Horn over on the first base side as Myhan holds him on. Toss over to Myhan, over to first, and Horn gets back in time. And a ball out. A 2-2 count. Carbaugh taking Moss to a full count here in the top of the third in a 1-1 tie with Horn over on first. Strike called at the plate, strike 3. Moss gets caught looking, and Carbaugh answers back. And Horn will stay put, so Carbaugh gets the K. And a little bit of conversation from the Alpha side. A little chatter towards Heath, our umpire, says, no, I'm calling the game. I'll handle it over here. And you handle it over there, and we'll be happy. Grease will step in. And a strike on the inner third, so Carbaugh answers to open up on Grease. The count is 0-1. Horn still parked at first base. Throw over Myhan with a good tag on. Good move for Carbaugh over towards the first baseman, Will Myhan. Infield umpire says, no, he got back in time. But a good move nonetheless, and a balk called on Carbaugh. Obviously not coming set there perhaps, and the call is made. So Horn moves up 90 feet to second on the balk by Carbaugh as Martinez, head coach, heads out. Have a quick word. Stay with us. It's a good one. It's a 1-1 tie, top of the third, the 2025 Perfect Game UBC Championship. ZT Prospect 17U knotted up with Alpha Prime. We'll be right back. So 1 out, 0-1 count to Grease. Horn over at second. Lopez shortstop side, ranges up, and a ball out. The count goes to 1-1.
Let's go get him here.
And Grease takes a cut, fouls it off. And the count to Marcus 1-2. And the count goes to 2-2. So a ball out. And a 2-2 count as Coach Martinez shuffling the defense a little bit, shifting. As Carbaugh takes a long look, Lopez rolls off. Pitch on the way. Strike 3 called. Carbaugh back-to-back Ks on Grease. And 2 outs on the books. Hearn will step in. Right fielder. Righty-lefty matchup here. Hearn hitting in the 5 spot. Horn still parked at second. High fly ball. Center fielder making a move to his right. Good route there off the barrel, and he'll pull it in. So the prospects. And Carbaugh taking care of business in center field. Matt Ramirez pulls it down. We're in a 1-1 tie. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So we're ready to go here in the bottom of the third. Zane Hukala steps in. Schlick stays on the hill, and Zane with a big cut at the plate, and the count is 0-1. And Hukala another cut. As that gets through, the count's 0-2. Schlick being efficient here so far, showing his stuff. And an 0-2 count. And 3 pitches, 1, 2, 3, and Hukala will have a seat. So Schlick will record the K, and that'll bring in Alberto Ortega. Ortega, catcher, 26 kid. And Schlick opens up with a strike fastball, gets the outside part of the plate. The count is 0-1. And a swing and a miss at the plate, foul tip. Count is 0-2. Schlick working quickly here. And 1, 2, 3 again. So efficiency on the hill from Graham Schlick, and another K. Back to the top of the order, Justy Lopez will step in. We're in the bottom of the third in a 1-1 tie. Fastball up, the count's 1-0. And Schlick makes the adjustment. And a a 1-1 count to Lopez. 2 down, bottom 3. Lopez takes a cut, fouls it back. The count is 1-2. As the prospects looking to try to extend here. Strike 3, slider out. Good pitch there, slick. Efficient there. Strikes out the side. And we'll head to the top of the 4th. It's a 1-1 tie, the 2025 UBC. We'll be right back. Well, Carba will stay on the hill for the prospects as we are through 3 complete innings and a 1-1 tie. Of record thus far, the only runs brought over were bases loaded on Alpha Prime's first offensive set, and hit by pitch brought the run over there. Hudson Reed was able to get into it his last at bat and solo home run. Those are your 2 runs so far. Graham Schlick has been very effective over on the Alpha side pitching. Carbaugh kind of up and down, but able to get out of some tight situations. So we are ready to go here as we start the top of the 4th.
Hey, let's go get on top here.
So Alpha goes 6, 7, 8 here. Sheffer will step in as the EH. Carbaugh to deal. Opens up with a strike. The count is 0-1. And a ball fouled off over on the Alpha side. Count is 0-2. And a ball cut foul down the first base line. Hard roller there and in foul territory. The count is 0-2. Holds here against the EH Sheffer with Harris on deck playing as the DH. Perfect game, putting on another great tournament here at the Great Park in Irvine. 16 teams in the 2025 Ultimate Baseball Championships. Carbaugh ready to go. The 0-2 pitch swung on foul.
Let's go get on top here.
What'd you get on that last one? 77.
Right here. Find a way, land it. Let's go.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Appeal down to the first base umpire. Said yes. Broke the plane there, and Carbaugh will get the K. And Harris, the 7-hitter, will step in. Righty-lefty matchup here. And a ball there. The count is 1-0. One hopper backing up. A good grab there on the shortstop side, and a good arm across is in time. 6-3 put out. And Ty Daniels executing over on the shortstop side. And a 6-3 put out. Maxon steps in and looks at a ball. So a 3-0 count to Maxon, the 8-hitter. Plays first base, swinging a miss outside, takes a cut there, and the count goes to 3-1. So Carbaugh gets him to get after the outside part of the plate, gets it through. Ball 4. So a walk to the 8-hitter Maxon. Ebel will step in. With 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Ball is out, the count's 1-0. So Jake makes the adjustment, the count goes to 1-1. Maxon over on the first base side. Meehan holds him on. Throw over. They got him tied up there, and they should have a tag on. And a good play there. So on the move, but picked off on his way to second. And they'll leave one on. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. So Will Meehan will step in for the Prospects here in a 1-1 tie in the bottom of the 4th. Graham Schlick stays on the hill for Alpha Prime. As Meehan steps in, Heath puts it in play. We're ready to go. Ball out. The count's 1-0. And a strike there, 1-1 count. Count is 2-1 as Meehan steps back in. Ball's popped up over on the third base side. Third baseman rolling off into foul territory and was able to pull it in. So Grease pulls it in, and Meehan will have a seat. And Andrade will step in. ball out. The count goes to 0-1 as Schlick locates outside. As Andrade takes a look here. The count is 0-1. And back to back. And the count goes to 0-2 for Schlick against Andrade. Andrade looking to get something started for the Prospects as we're in this low-scoring affair. A slider there, good pitch, and good movement there. As Andrade will have a seat, Schlick will get the K, and 2 down, Hudson Reed will step in.
Go, Huddy, stay hot.
Hudson looking here to extend the inning here in the bottom of the 4th. And Reed takes a cut, fouls it back. The count is 0-1. And the count goes to 1-1. So Reed laying off there. The count goes to 2-1. And a ball down. So 3-1 count to Hudson Reed. Oops, sorry. And a strike there. Schlick comes back. And the count goes full at 3-2. And outside part of the plate. And that'll do it. As swing and a miss. And the 3rd out recorded. We'll head to the 5th. We're in a 1-1 tie. Stay with us. So a pitching change. Carbaugh threw 4. And going into the 5th here, Mateo Villanueva will take over for the Prospects, a right-handed pitcher out of San Diego, California. 2026 kid. So Andrade sends it down to second, and stepping in, Trey Abel hitting in the 9 spot. As Villanueva takes over. We're ready to go here. And a strike outside. Movement there. The count is 0-1. Good looking curve for and an 0-2 count. And Villanueva comes in, and Ebel will have a seat as a strikeout there to get the first out. On the defensive shift, Justy Lopez over at second, Ty Daniels at short. And stepping in, Finnegan, the 10-hitter. And that gets away as Finnegan gets one the hard way down 90 feet to first as he'll shake that off. And a hit by pitch with one out. Top of the order. Tronstein will step in with Finnegan over on first. Villanueva opens up with a strikeout on Ebel. And then a hit by pitch, so as Mateo just settling in here. We're in the fifth frame. It's a 1-1 tie. It's been a good matchup so far. Good pitching we're seeing on both sides. Back pick. Myhan puts it on as Finnegan gets back in time as Andrade throws down. Ball at the plate. The count is 1-0. Runner goes, Andrade, a one-hopper down to second. Tag is on, and a good play. Josiah Andrade fires a rocket down to second, and good defensive play there for the Prospects. A 2-1 count to the leadoff hitter Tronstein with the bases empty. And a ball out. The count goes to 3-1. So Mateo, 3-1 count to Tronstein. He's got 2 outs on the books. Coming in for Carbach, Jake did a nice job getting in and out of jams and showing his stuff. High fly ball. Ramirez backing up, should have a routine grab there. He'll pull it in. So high fly out for Tronstein to center. Ramirez will pull it in. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth, a 1-1 tie, the 2025 Perfect Game Ultimate Baseball Championship here at the Great Park in Irvine. Chris Allard with the call. Stay with us. I'll be right back. Well, we welcome you back again here as Perfect Game putting on another great event here in Southern California at the Great Park in Irvine. And to learn more about what's happening in the world of Perfect Game Baseball, go to pg.org, perfectgame.org, and showcases different events around the country and being hosted by Perfect Game. Some big tournaments coming up, some of the major events as teams continue to qualify and do some big stuff as the 2025 season rolls on, trying to get into the bigger events. WWBA coming up, and the younger players will compete at the Met Sports Complex coming up starting this week, towards the end of the week, a long tournament there, and then the older kids, 16s, 17s, will be in Atlanta, Georgia. Luke Manderson will step in here at the bottom of the fifth. And a cut outside, the count's 0-1. count is 0-2 to Manderson. As I mentioned, Luke committed to Iowa, lives in Jacksonville, Florida. And a well-hit ball to the left side pulled foul. As Manderson takes a cut there and the 0-2 count holds. And swing and a miss at the plate, and Schlick will get to K. And Ty Daniels will step in. On deck, Matt Ramirez with one out in the fifth. Well hit ball in the gap. Left fielder backing up, and that ball's deep, and that ball is gone. Ty Daniels pulls the trigger. That ball hung up there for a long time, right at 362. Into the power alley here for Ty Daniels. So it's Hudson Reed and Ty Daniels for the Prospects. And a solo shot will bring over the second run. So the long ball for the Prospects have brought their runs. And stepping in will be Matthew Ramirez. Temperatures heating up. I'm sure we're probably close to the 80s now with one out. And Ramirez steps in. And Schlick runs it outside, and the count is 0-1. And Ramirez takes a cut, fouled off, and out of play. Count is 0-2. So, not sure what the holdup is. Look for some baseballs, perhaps. I think these guys need baseballs. So, baseball shows back up. Couple coming back in. And we should be good as Ramirez will step back in. Schlick with an 0-2 count on Ramirez with one out, bottom of the fifth. And strike three called at the plate. And Ramirez will have a seat. Stepping in, Zane Hukala. As I mentioned, Zane pitched yesterday for the Prospects. Lefty, did a nice job. He's headed to the University of Hawaii. And a cut at the plate there. Count is 0-1. Count is 0-2 as Schlick continuing to show his stuff and pitching well for Alpha. The 0-2 pitch, and a count there is 1-2. And Hukala takes a swing and a miss, and Schlick will take the out. We'll turn it over, but not before Ty Daniels answers the call. Solo home run. It's a 2-1 affair. Prospects over Alpha Prime. We'll head to the sixth. So Mateo Villanueva came in for Carbaugh and was effective. So Andrade sends it down to second. We're ready to go. So Villanueva will stay on the hill, starting things off here in the top of the sixth. As Mateo ready to go here and starting things off. The two-hitter, they go 2, 3, 4 here. Horn will step in. And the count is 1-0. Horn's had a single so far today. As Villanueva, one hopper, slow roller, charging. Gonna have to be a quick play, nothing there. So Lopez over on the second base side. And Villanueva rolled off and let that go through as Lopez was charging and on board. Stepping in the three-hitter, Moss. Horn over at first. Mayan holds him on. Villanueva from the stretch. And a strike there for Mateo. The count is 0-1. And a ball out. The count evens up at 1-1. Throw back over to Mahan. And Horn gets back in time. Modest lead off the first base side. A little bit of a secondary there. And at his feet, Andrade had to come out quickly there. That ball skidded away and was able to recover there. The count is 2-1. And Moss takes a cut. Villanueva gets it through and evens up the count at 2-2. No outs. We're in the sixth. 2-1 Prospects over Alpha Prime. Horn at first. Leaning towards second. And a ball's cut foul and out of play. Heading towards the 11 a.m. hour here on the West Coast in Southern California. Appreciate you joining us here for this good matchup this morning. Pitch on the way. And a ball's cut foul. So Moss steps back in. And the 2-2 count holds here with Horn at first. The 2-2 pitch. Right side. Right fielder backing up. Should have a routine play there. And Horn will come back to first. So Hukala over on the right side pulls it in. Zane gets the out. And Grease will step in. And a tag on and safe, getting back in time. Horn diving back in. A good move for Villanueva over to Myhan. And a ball up. The count is 1-0. And the count is 2-0 to Grease. And a 3-0 pitch there. So Villanueva, Greaves will be taking all the way here. And a 3-0 count. And Mateo answers back, puts one up. The count goes to 3-1. And up and in, ball 4. Grease gets on him with a walk. And runners at first and second for the 5-hitter Hearn. So Andrade talking to Mateo, quick word with him, and Coach Rick Martinez heads out as well with one out here in the 6th. And again, we appreciate you joining us here this morning, the 2025 Perfect Game UBC event here at the Great Park in Irvine. They've also holding games over at the Concordia University as well as Vanguard College Fields, and of course here at the Great Park. So conversation concluded on the hill, and we're ready to go here. As Hearn will step in, righty-lefty matchup. Ty Daniels at short and tight on Horn. Rees at first. And a strike to open up there, and the count is 0-1. And swing and a miss. Villanueva. And an 0-2 count on Hearn, the 5-hitter. Ty Daniels rolls off at short. And a ball outside. The count goes to 1-2. And swing and a miss. Strike three. Villanueva gets the K. A big out for the prospects, and Mateo with runners at first and second. Grease and Horn over at second. Grease on the first base side. Sheffer will step in. And Mateo. And an 0-1 count here on Sheffer. Sheffer comes in as the EH for Alpha. And foul ball in the box. Andrade came straight up. It was right in his hand. And Mateo Villanueva in an 0-2 count here. So Villanueva well ahead here with 2 outs. As Mateo ready to deal, and Heath, our umpire, puts it in. We're ready to go here in the 0-2 pitch. Mateo takes a look. Pitch on the way. And ball outside. Slider there, and the count goes to 1-2. And a ball low. Andrade keeps that out front. And the count evens up at 2-2 with 2 outs. Prospects and Villanueva looking to get on the offensive side as we're in the top of the 6th frame. 2-1 Prospects. And Sheffer fouls off, and the count holds it 2-2. Well hit ball. Left fielder backing up to the track. Should be able to pull it in, and they do it. They leave 2 on the long ball. And well played from left field. As Manderson takes care of that. And they'll strand 2. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 Prospects over Alpha Prime, the 17U division in the 2025 Perfect Game UBC. We'll be right back. Now we'll bring you back in here in a pitching change for Alpha Prime as Graham Schlick did some good work for their club. And stepping in now, Julian Cazares steps in, and Alberta Ortega will start things off for the prospects. The prospects here in the bottom of the frame with Ortega. They go 9-1-2. And a strike to open up on Ortega. The count is 0-1. And the count goes to 1-1. And a swing at the plate. As Cazares gets that through, the count is 1-2. Ortega looking to get a knock here to get something started for the prospects in the bottom of the sixth. And a ball hit to the right side. Right fielder backing up. Should have a routine play there. And pull it in. So over on the right side, Hearn takes care of that. Ortega will have a seat, 1 out. And back to the top of the order, Justin Lopez will step in. Ball low, the count's 1-0. 2-0 count to Lopez. Seven innings will play, or 2 hours. No new inning after 2 hours. That's the format for the tournament here this week. Ball 3, so Lopez laying off a 3-0 count as Cazares, Julian runs him up. And a 3-0 pitch. Inside ball 4, fastball up and in. Lopez will head down to first base. Free ride 90 feet down, and he's on board. So William Myhen will step in with Lopez over on the first base side. First baseman for the club, lefty. And from Houston, Georgia, headed to North Carolina. And a big cut there, and the count is 0-1. Cazares checking Lopez over at first. And a ball out, and the count leaving up at 1-1. Lopez, a little bit of maintenance on the right cleat. He'll tighten that up. Some time on the field. And Justy's good to go. Maxon, the first baseman, throw over, tag on. Infield umpire says, no, you're back in time. Cazares with a good move over to first. So he takes a look. Myhen ready to go. Ball is low and out. The count goes to 2-1. Lopez with a decent lead. Modest secondary there. Pitch on the way. And a strike. Elevates a bit. Gets the outside part of the zone called. The count evens up at 2-2. Lopez on the move. Throw down. One hopper. And Lopez gets in and out on the glove. Good throw from Moss. Came out quickly, gunned it down, but Lopez with a good jump. Moves up 90 feet and a ball at the plate. The count goes to 3-2. So prospects knocking on the door here with 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Horn in tight on Lopez at second. As Horn shuffles back in. Will takes a cut, and the count holds here at 3-2. He did not go. Appeal out to the infield umpire, and Myhan, disciplined at the plate, finds himself on board. And runners at first and second with the catcher Josiah Andrade stepping in. Lopez at second. Myhan over on the first base side. Andrade steps in. Cazares ready to deal. Ball is low on the inner third. The count is 1-0. So the prospects, as I mentioned here, in the bottom of the sixth frame, leading this one 2-1. 2 runs on 2 home run shots. Hudson Reed and Ty Daniels. Time called, and Andrade will step out. Cazares, a long look at second. Second baseman rolling in. And a little bit of shuffling over at second on the defensive side. Ebel at second and Horn at short as Ebel starts to close the gap here with Lopez a decent lead. He'll come back again. So a little cat and mouse going on here on the infield. And Lopez, after stealing once, Cazares keeping his eye on him. Andrade takes a cut. The count evens up at 1-1. Andrade, second baseman, Ebel. They get one there. And where is he at second? They're going to look at that. And Ebel's looking for a call there. Are they saying he's safe at second or out? We'll find out what that's all about. And it looks like safe at second, so no play at second. And Andrade gets on board. So Ebel thought he had a play there and was questioning that. And the bases are juiced. So Hudson Reed will step in. And the base is loaded here in the bottom of the sixth frame. 1 out. And a ball's out. Count is 1-0. So Hudson Reed looking to extend here. A line drive is your friend out here, the deep field, and the count is 1-1. Reed has gone deep, the long ball, earlier at 362, left center. Stroke. And a ball in, and the count goes to 2-1. So a little bit of a high leverage moment here with the bases loaded. And a ball out, so Julian Cazares in a little bit of trouble here at 3-1, and Moss is going to make a visit. And with the bases loaded, Hudson Reed staying disciplined at the plate. And a hitter's count here in the bottom of the sixth frame, 2-1 prospects. It's been Hudson Reed and Ty Daniels. Those are the only 2 runs over for the prospects, both home runs and solo shots. And Reed will step in here at a 3-1 count. Heath puts it back in, and we are ready to go. And Hudson takes the cut and fouls it back. The count is 3-2. And left side, that ball Gets through. Here comes one, and coming across is in time. And a well-executed play, a single and a 2-run RBI. Lopez and Mahan come across. The Prospects will pick up runs 3 and 4. And runners at first and second still with 1 out. Conversation on the hill. That might be short work there for Cazares as the head coach comes out. Stay with us, Prospects. They add on here in the bottom of the 6th. It's a 4-1 affair. We'll be right back. So the conference on the hill is concluded as Heath heads out just to say, okay, guys, we realize you're slowing things down. Let's move it along, and rightfully so, but nonetheless necessary in some cases for Alpha, and just talking to their pitcher. 1 out, runners at first and second. Hudson Reed at first, Andrade at second. Luke Manderson steps in. Fastball up, the count is 1-0. Well hit ball. That ball's to the right side. Left fielder, correction, center fielder. And a good grab there, a good route right off the barrel. As Tronstein pulls it in. Ty Daniels will step in. As Andrade, as I mentioned, at second. Hudson Reed over on the first base side. 2 outs, bottom 6, 4-1 Prospects. And a swing and a miss, that gets through. The count is 0-1. And up in and tight there as Ty Daniels steps away from that one out of the box, and the count goes to 1-1. And the runners will move up as that gets through on Moss. And right to the fence line. And the count is 2-1 with runners at second and third. And now with Ty Daniels and a scoring opportunity in Andrade parked over on the third base side. Daniels locked and loaded, steps back in. The 2-1 count. And a big cut outside. The count evens up at 2-2. So Cazares evens things up here in the bottom of the 6th. And that'll get through and strike out. Prospects will leave 2 on, but Hudson Reed answers the call. Gets a single and a 2-run RBI that picking up runs 3 and 4. The Prospects lead this one 4-1. We'll go to the 7th. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So a pitching change as we're in the 7th frame. Top of the frame. Prospects get on the defensive side. Luke Manderson taking over for Mateo Villanueva. Mateo did good work for his inning. And as Manderson gets some warm-up pitches. Stay with us. We're in the 7th. So Luke Manderson, as I mentioned, taking over for Villanueva. Andrade fires it down to second to Lopez, and we'll be ready to go here in the top of the 7th frame. And stepping in Harris. Alpha goes 7-8-9 here in the opening of the 7th. Heath puts it in, righty-lefty matchup to start things off here for Luke Manderson. Pitch on the way. Ball's low and out. The count is 1-0.
Let's go look right out of here.
And a strike there for Manderson. As Luke evens it up, the count is 1-1. And a ball out, the count goes to 2-1. And a ball out, a 3-1 count. And Manderson, ball 4. So a walk issued to the 7-hitter Harris, and Maxon will step in. And a ball out, the count is 1-0. And the count is 2-0. So Andrade heads out and talking to Manderson for a minute to settle him down, as he's talking about something about the mound, like where he's striding out or whatever, pointing to the an area that's might be dug out just from pitchers striding and digging things up. Heath puts it back in, a 2-0 count. Harris over at first. And the count is 3-0. So Manderson having some trouble here. Ball 4. So now Martinez has got some decisions to make here in a 4-1 game. And Manderson back-to-back walks. And Ebel will step in. And Manderson in big trouble here. 2 walks and a hit by pitch, and things are getting interesting here in the 7th. Should have never pulled Yeah, maybe they should have never pulled Mateo. Villanueva.
Probably trying to preserve his pitch count so that he could throw again tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely, because he was really pitching well.
I know. Should be first rule.
All right, so Coach Martinez and his guys settling things down here for Manderson as Ebel will step in. And no outs here in the 7th. And a ball in, the count is 1-0. Finnegan hitting in the 10 spot here. And a ball up. Manderson not able to locate, and a little bit of trouble here. And the count is 2-0. So Luke just trying to get a strike over, let a guy hit. See what your defense can do for you. And he locates. The count is 2-1. So Manderson is getting back into it now, and the count is 2-2. So a little bit of energy starting to elevate here on both sides as the count goes to 2-2. Andrade sets up the 2-2 pitch, and everybody stays put, and the count is 3-2. Swing and a miss. Manderson answers back as a big cut for Finnegan. And Manderson gets the K and 1 out. Tronstein will step in. And good pitch there to open up for Manderson. So he seems to be settling in. And the count is 0-1. And a ball up, the count goes to 1-1. right towards 11:30 a.m. here. And a good pitch there, strike. Good, beautiful pitch, slider there. And the count is 1-2 on the curve. So Luke Manderson starting to find his rhythm and his stuff. And the 1-2 pitch. Strike three call. So Tronsky gets caught looking on the inner third. And Manderson waking things up on his side. And Horn will step in. And a good pitch. Inside just missing there, and the count goes to 1-0. And a ball just missing inside as Manderson running the inner third of the plate. The count's 2-0. A little housekeeping work here. And time being called on the field. Coach Martinez looking for a time. And they're going to shuffle the deck here a bit. And low in the zone, the count is 3-0. Ball four, Manderson puts him walk over. And the score is 4-2 Prospects. So Moss will step in with 2 outs. High fly ball. Ball being called off of the second base side. And that'll do it. The Prospects pull it in, and a good game as Alpha Prime, a solid organization, and the ZT Prospects, they take it. They win it 4-2, a good one. And the Prospects will continue on as well as Alpha Prime. Well, I'd like to thank the good folks from Perfect Game and Zach keeping score, moving things along. It's been a pleasure calling the game here. We'll bring you tomorrow's action as well and bring it to you live. Chris Aller with the call for Perfect Game and the ZT Prospects national team. Congratulations to the Prospects as they take this one 4-2 over Alpha Prime. And sportsmanship prevails. That's really what it's all about at the end of the day. Competition will continue to roll on. CBA going against Elite. That's coming up next. Should be a good battle there. But for now, the Prospects will close it out. They win this one today. 4-2. We'll say so long from the Great Park in Irvine, the 2025 Perfect Game Ultimate Baseball Championship. So long, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.